alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Humanity. Today we are going to look at a very important subject, which is health. Health is a very, very important subject to each and every one of you on this planet or out there. It's very, very important for human beings, individual, to know that you being in good health, so does your neighbor, your friend, your daughter, your grandma, your pa, your uncle. All these people deserve and have the right to enjoy the beauty of being in good health. With that, Allah did lay very holy, divine holy directives and prescriptions of how men and women should live in their societies. And that those holy divine directives and provisions and directives and laws are to be followed strictly with a proper whatever that you as living human beings, you do not go out of your prescribed parameter or guidelines, and then you say, oh, I'm a Marabu, I'm a kind of way is like this. I'm a priest, I'm a Pentecost priest, our way of life is like, no. My people, whenever you try and conjecture any way other than that which Allah has prescribed, that's when you are in what you call a manifest error. A manifest error is when you are in either you take, for instance, in the Holy Quran, Allah will mention some words. For instance, take the word fitnah. Fitnah is something that Allah speaks of in the Holy Quran. But in a certain way, when Allah speaks about fitnah, it's not a direct whatever part is. It's something that is encrypted. But Allah says, men, do not engage or do not ever engage in fitnah. Do not ever engage in any act of fitnah when you are living human beings. Because any act or practice of fitnah is a dirty thing against the most holy, beautiful religion of Islam. And for your information, as I said to you, Islam is the holy name of Allah. And Islam is the only most holy, beautiful religion that men and women were created. So if you do kind of engage in acts of or practices of fitnah, and you say, I'm a Pentecost, I can't buy men and go to Guinea-Bissau and get little girls and make them slaves. No. Many people here, I've noticed here in Africa, many people and many women engage in fitnah against little children. Little children, defenseless children, especially here in West Africa. I've come across cases of little boys and girls who were slaves in 2025. They are practices of slavery, exploitation of little children. As some they work in what you call coconut harvesting in the people who make chocolates. Some are thrown on the street as weapons of whatever. My people, if you knew how important, or if you could recall the day when you were growing up as a woman in West Africa, and your mother pampered you with this and that, the same way when you travel or you make a journey from either Banjul or Senegal, Dakar or Mauritania, and you say, I'm going to Guinea-Bissau to buy a child, to buy someone whom I call a slave, a Kafarah, because they call them Kafarahs. You take someone's dignities and you put it in your pocket, and because you have a little money in you, and you say, you a Kafarah. My people, these are what are classified as acts of fitnah against the most holy, beautiful religion of Islam. The religion from which Allah sends a morsel of bread to that person you call her a slave, a Kafarah. Allah sends a glass of water. Allah sends whatever that, what you call a Kafarah. Whatever she wants, Allah says, I'll send you something. So long as you keep yourself in the guidelines of a Muslim. Because my people, I'll put this on the table. In some countries, Islam is something that men added in what they like the Kafarah practice. It's not something of Islam. It's a fitnah practice. It's a very deadly fitnah practice. But men have, there's men who call themselves marabouts. Men who do they call themselves marabouts, doctors and whatever. They push these things within the practices of Islam. But if Kafarah practices or taking a person as a Kafarah, it's not a practice of it's not in Islam. It's something that people pushes inside within, so to see whether it can fit within their desired lust. Because taking someone as a Kafarah, it's a desired lust, because you can when you become a Kafarah, anybody who takes you, who says your boss, he can do it as they wish. No, because this being a Kafarah, a fitnah practice, Kafarah is a fitnah practice, a very deadly fitnah practice, which can easily provoke and bring the destruction of every human being on this planet. Because it's against life. When you take someone's dignities away, the same way you were in the womb for 9 months, that person you call a Kafarah was in the womb of their mother for 9 months. So these are acts which are very, very common. And the beneficiary of these acts are mainly people who have they differ. The cases I've come across, which are mainly, these are people who are buying children and even big men. These are men who are not Muslims. But because they live within whatever, or they have extra cash, they'll buy anybody and say, I want a Kafarah, I want someone to work for me. I did warn my Arab children, and I said, my Arab children, this Kafarah practice is a fitnah, a deadly act of fitnah against the most holy, beautiful religion of Islam. It is very commonly used in countries like Sudan. Kafarah practice is very, very widely practiced in Sudan. That's why you see, if you are to go, because me, I always walk, when they pass by me, I always travel through the wind. I travel with anything. When I go to Sudan, the men, they look at me and they say, what is that thing moving around? So I enter someone's home and I look around and I see the people who work in the house, all that's Kafarahs. Well, that's the boss lady, sits there, picks her nail, looks in the mirror, picks her nail, and at the end of the day, these are women. When the time comes in the evening, they need to go to what you call, to get dialysis, to cleanse their blood because they took on something they don't understand. Allah cast them because you took another human being and you call them a Kafarah. And I say, oh, do you really take another beautiful girl and you say, is your Kafarah? You are the boss lady? Then you succumb to become someone who needs someone else to use a machine to say whether your blood is, so you go for the analysis in order to put your blood in order. My people, human beings, Muslims, and those who say they're non-Muslims, do not ever go out of your head and say because I think I have extra cash in my pocket, I can take on so and so to be a Kafarah, to be my house cleaner, to be this and that. Unless that individual willingly say, I'm looking for a job, and when you give them that job, you have to give them a lot of money. Take for instance, if I was to show you a woman, the boss lady, she has a woman she calls a Kafarah, a girl, she shouts at, but after a few hours, this girl this woman, the boss lady, becomes crippled because she needs to get a dialysis to go on the machine so that her kidneys are half collapsed. Allah has said, oh, you think you are a boss lady? No, you are not. You are only a boss lady because you took on someone as a Kafarah. And I said to the disease, take that woman to be a Kafarah to you as diseases. Take that woman who thinks he took on someone as a Kafarah and make her a Kafarah to disease. She said the disease take away your dignities as a woman, a boss lady. To become nothing, cast and humiliated. So my people, the practices of Kafarah, the practices things that you've added within the religion of Islam are very, very deadly to you individuals who think, yeah, this is our way, because when you take on someone as a Kafarah, it's as if you are saying, like those people who says, this is our way of life. Our way of life here in the jungle of New York, we are entitled to carry an assault rifle, whereby if anyone looks into him as what you call a mall, a shopping mall, and I see someone who doesn't, I don't like, I can easily just pull out my assault rifle and spread bullets to everyone. Because that is our way of life here in the super mall in America. But that is because that's our way of life. If you are Muslims in Sudan, in Chad, in Ghana, in Nigeria, and you do apply this kind of kafar practices, even those in the Middle East, Arabia, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, any human being, do not ever go out of your head and say, I've got extra cash, I'm going to take on transfer as a kafar. My people, you are committing injustices against yourselves. You're committing injustices against your own body. I gave you an example of a woman. She says she's a boss lady. She commands the girl run around the corner, run around the whatever. And she's, after maybe 3 hours, she'll be in agony because her kidneys are not working. Her blood has to be kind of, she has to be rushed to the, what you call this thing they call them, the machine which clean, they call the dialysis. Do you know why? Because Allah curses anybody who says, I'm a boss lady. I'm a boss man. My people, these practices of evil, of fitting against the most holy beautiful religion, because if you are afflicted with the need to use the dialysis, you won't see the beauty of Islam even if you have 100 people you call kafaras. You won't see the beauty of Islam because your body will always say, no, you are not the boss lady. You're something that is worthless. So my people, the practices which you adopted and added within the beauty of life, the beauty of the most holy, beautiful religion of Islam, whereby in Islam, if I was to tell you that if you are as we understand, the same, because when I'm walking around the world or in the countries where I live, I tend to walk around. When I come across people, they say, hey, this man here is giving people money, yet he's dressed in rags. He's in rags. He's giving people money here and there. No. When I look, Allah tells me that person hasn't eaten for days. That person is a kafara being tortured by someone somewhere. So whatever I can, Allah says, put your hand in your pocket, there is something there. Throw it at that whatever. Maybe it will be a transport for her to escape being a kafara in that whatever. So that way, those who see me, they say, this man is always, that rag man, that man who dresses like a rag or whatever, he's always giving these things here and there, here and there. Yes. Some of them people, they don't understand that I am here on this planet to say, my man, do not engage in practices that make your bodies rotten. And well, as you say, you took on a girl or whatever to be a kafarah, but as soon as she enters your house, your body started rotting, and you need dialysis in order to keep your whatever system running. My people, Allah created human beings very, very clean, but whenever you walk on this plane and say, I am a boss lady, I am a boss man, I am this and that, we the angels, we say, they never knew how we danced the strokes in the horizons, we danced in the waves. So that way, I would advise men and women all over the world, these things that you've added in the most holy, beautiful religion of Islam, especially things that you need a house girl, a maid who cleans for you. No. I'll tell you, Allah is constructing what you call in the next 12 trillion thousand years of the universe. In that future, there will be no so anybody will say, so and so is my housemaid. You have to do whatever it takes by your hands in order to keep your hands clean. You have to do everything yourself, not to need I need so and so to be, because it won't be there. So with that, I'm just telling you, put your houses in order. Don't allow this sick man to say, I'm a boss lady, I'm a boss man. You can't be a boss man to your own kidneys if you can, before I make them rot. Or be a boss man to your own heart before I make it rot. Yeah, okay. I'll see you. These mad people have left, and I say to them, never buy, never do go take money out of bracket and say, I'm buying Sancho to be my slave somewhere. These practices are very common here in West Africa, countries like Nigeria, Guinea-Bissau, Guinea-Conakry, Gambia, Senegal, Mauritania, you name it. These countries are very, very widely involved in these practices, but they don't know how deadly the repercussion of saying that you're paying money to buy someone's life dignity so that they can clean your toilet, clean your houses, clean everything you have. It's sad that you do such a thing, because some of these people made a very great mistake. I was somewhere and someone came and said, they took me to this country and I said, when I go there, I start my business, knowing that I am entitled to my dignity. While I was there, someone came to me and said, that building you see there, is you constructing it. Every employee on that building is you supposed to look after them. I said, no. The boy said, no, you are the boss here. I said, how? Because the man who said that you are there. I said, he's building a shop or a building. He told the people that was the house of Allah. I said, no, that's not the house of Allah. It's a place for a shop or whatever. So I said to the man that whoever ever stands and come near that shop because you told a lie that you are building a house of Allah, and I came here and I was brought here as a kafar, whoever comes near that place will be kind of cast. And whatever money that ever comes out of that place will be disease upon those who say they buy men and they take them as kafaras. So with that, my people, keep out of these fitnah practices whereby you take money out of bracket and say, I pay so and so, and it's my kafara, I'm the boss lady. No. You are nothing, because the machine that cleans your blood, when you go for dialysis, it says, look at this for boss lady woman. We are the machine, and we are the boss to your blood. We can say either you can survive this evening or not. Never take anybody as a kafar. Never go out of your head and say, I'm a boss leader by so and so. Be my kafara boy. Never engage in practices again, or which are called fitnah against the most holy, beautiful religion of Islam. It's me, the machine, who has been talking in the name of the most beautiful Dawood. The moon is saying, yeah, Dawood is saying the truth. Never engage in fitnah, because fitnah is it's a very dirty thing. Again, it's the most holy, beautiful religion. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.